Happy Harry.
Oh no, Adrian! Looks like the Reds are polluting the city lake! What do we do?
We call the Watchmen! Strong together, united forever, they're the best of friends. But when trouble's about, you'd best watch out for the Watchmen.
Now is their leader, and he loves to party down. Rorschach's rents to the animals.
Yeah, when he's not clowning around.
Why nutty?
Beat up some thugs, say no to drugs, be in bed by 10. But if trouble's about, you'd best watch out for the Watchmen.
Spectre's a sensation, you should really never miss her. The comedian's your biggest fan now.
If I could only get that kiss.
OCM Bubastis, couple of crimes, some superstars. John can give you cancer, and they'll turn into a car.
Strong together, united forever, come and meet your friends. Have no fear, time's up, time's here, for the Watchmen.
Watch out.
I don't know, man. That seems pretty rad. I kind of want that to happen. I don't know. You guys think you go cool with that? I want to see that. Y'all want to see that? I want to fucking see it. I wonder if Morgan wants to see it.
It's a Watchmen cartoon?
I'm sure you've seen that before, right? That
Oh yeah, I love that.
It's an internet classic.
It really is.
But if anybody hadn't seen it before, then you probably are like, what the fuck was that? Well, it's a fake cartoon intro for a fake cartoon that thankfully doesn't and hopefully never exists.
Oh, no. Look, if we're gonna live in the dumbest timeline, we should all the way live in the dumbest timeline.
Oh, you're saying it's like because we're already there, like we might as well get a sequel to Watchmen, and like a sequel,
yeah.
Like James Cameron should direct a sequel to Titanic, and just all the dumbest fucking ideas.
James Cameron's Titanic 2.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Titanic.
Titanic versus Avatar.
Oh, there we go.
Where you just have the yeah.
What if it's Titanic versus Terminator, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's 80-year-old body gets sent back to the Titanic, and he has to kill someone.
Yeah. I mean,
or get someone off the ship. I don't know. There's something there. We can make a Titanic sequel work.
We'll workshop it and see what we come up with. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a fine weekend. Hope
I am.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I mean, you're busy as shit last weekend, weren't you? Like.
Yeah, I got back from a work trip, and so it was just like me being in recovery mode.
Yeah. Well, glad you are not overextending now. Yeah, the Rorschach, yes. the part that gets me is the comedian part. It's like whoever wrote that, it's from the perspective of somebody that hadn't gotten to the last issue yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I wish I could get that kiss.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's not they don't reveal the whole spoiler alert for Watchmen, by the way. Ozymandias being the bad guy.
Right. They hide that.
I think it's in like issue 11 or something is whenever that's revealed.
Yeah, it's forever where you find out that he's the one who set everything up.
I went back, like after I read it the first time, I was like, oh my God, that blew my mind so much. And I like that whole last couple of issues was like some of the best comic experience I've ever had. And I remember just going back to read it again pretty quick after that. And I was like, I'm trying to look for clues that would tell me that I could have picked up, but it was him. It was really not him.
There's really not. Like,
there's things that you see that once you find out the information, you can do it. Then you can but I only learned that when it was revealed.
Right.
There's nothing that you can go, aha, that's a clue.
It's not a fair cop mystery.
No.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be.
What up, Blissful Haze? It's been a while, man.
Hey,
hopefully,
how's it going?
All right, down under. Am I doing it right? Down. All right, let's move on.
I am not liable for Dane's attempted accents.
In my anti-Australian bigotry, apparently.
Well, I mean, you have reasons for your anti-Australian bigotry.
I've had one Australian person in my life, and she kind of turned out to suck, and she dumped me. So what am I supposed to think? Other than all of you are terrible. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're all terrorists. I
Actually,
guess.
Australian, your accent is my second favorite accent after, and you're gonna hate me for this, Australians, New Zealanders. It's my favorite accent.
Oh boy, that now you're just causing trouble with them.
I love a Kiwi accent. You know, that chicken, Bobby, what's her name? Bobby Draper in The Expanse. Oh man, whew.
I am legally not allowed to watch The Expanse, so
I know. Yeah, you told me about that. I'd like to hear more sometime, but like, I mean, I kind of like. Hold on, Morgan. Would you? So, all right. Just side note. I've been trying to negotiate with Oliver lately because he is, you know, he's definitely curious about horror, but he's still a little scary kid.
sure.
Stuff. And he, so for the longest time, he would, whenever he would come home off the bus at the end of after school, he would, to go down the hallway, like a long hallway to our apartment, he would run from the entrance into the hallway straight to our door, and you could hear him. You could hear him.
Sure.
Because he was just scared of just an empty blank hallway, basically. And I had no idea why until recently. I just thought, you know, some kind of weird fear that develops, and it's like, you know, we ended up. I worked with him on getting past that. You know,
Sure.
He didn't do it anymore. But like recently, the movie Backrooms came out.
Oh.
I found out that Backrooms is based on some internet, you know, YouTube. I don't know, copy. I mean, it's copy creepypasta or whatever.
Yeah, creepypasta.
And it's something that's basically about, you know, the fear of like open, like it's kind of like a late stage capitalism thing. I feel like, where it's like, you know, the hallways behind, like inside a mall, you know, like the back hallways, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just like kind of sterile, kind of like, I don't know. And that's apparently that like his generation, there's a lot of kids that have like this weird fear of that kind of thing. And I don't ever had a fear of it, but I noticed it being kind of creepy, those environments.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, point being, I was asking him recently if he would want to start a YouTube channel. We've been, you know, kind of going back and forth about how we do a father-son YouTube channel. And I was like, what if we did? I said, what if we did a video where you react to the Backrooms trailer? And he's like, no, I don't even want to watch it. And I was like, no, but Oliver, think about the clicks, man. Think about, you know. I was like, if we do this and we get rich, I can send you to all the therapy you need. You know.
Oh, what are you? What are you, a pageant mom?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
you know,
no.
I mean, he's got to get over it. No, but then like if he could watch the trailer and we had a good reaction to that and stuff like that, then maybe we watch the movie next. And he's like, whoa,
slow your roll.
You know, going back to where we were, I'm kind of thinking about maybe I should press you on watching The Expanse to.
I can't. It's a legal thing.
Okay, really, it's illegal.
I should just explain it, huh?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, so
Grady.
Yeah, history of Morgan time. So I run tabletop role-playing games, as everyone here knows. I have a recurring home setting that's a sci-fi game that takes place entirely in the solar system. I have not read The Expanse. I have not watched The Expanse. I know basically nothing about it. Except that for whatever reason, the writers of The Expanse and I share like one quantum linked brain cell, that I have somehow had several of the same plot points as them.
That's crazy.
Just through monkeys on keyboards, right?
Some people have told you about this, right? They've been like, hey,
yes.
You know that thing you get that you, yeah.
Because I had a player who was big into The Expanse. And he's like, so you took that from The Expanse, right? And I'm like, at the time, I hadn't even heard of it because I don't have cable or anything back when it was on Sci-Fi. And so it was just like, I don't know what that is. It's like, what? You don't? Because it's like right from that. And I'm like, yeah, I have no idea. And then like more things have happened that is just like, well, apparently like we share some inspirations or one quantum link brain cell or something. But so in the spirit of maintaining the purity of this role-playing game I run, we're actually going to start it up again soon. I can't watch The Expanse.
Damn. So, all right, I might have to start like just like every stream ask you one specific thing if you've got that thing in your.
Sure, yeah, you could do that.
Just out of curiosity. Anyway, man, now I want to watch The Expanse again.
I'm sorry.
Look, Bezos is a billionaire. He's a piece of shit. We got to yeet him into the sun. But before we yeet him into the sun, I would like to thank him for keeping The Expanse alive and finishing the run.
Yeah, that and Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Which I know is not a popular take on the internet, but that's fine. People can like things and dislike things.
So, you know, I watched the last season, the season before this current season, I guess, of I guess it might be over now, of For All Mankind.
Sure.
Up until then, and then the last season though kind of started to get a little bit. We gotta let the billionaires help us out. You know, the rich tech bros that loves going to space and stuff. We gotta listen.
Oh, Jesus Christ, really?
Oh, I mean, I know that it's not necessarily trying to make that, you know, say that like, oh, we're talking about Elon Musk here, guys, but it's hard not to make that parallel, you know, draw that conclusion.
Sure.
And it was the first time the show gave me that kind of like, oh, I don't really know how. I don't like this very much.
Right. That's some yuck.
So yeah, I'd be curious to know if this new season has gone down that road at all and been more like billionaire propaganda.
That's an Apple joint too, right?
Yes. Yep.
It's kind of like I would expect that if it was an Amazon show, but
yeah. I mean, honestly, Amazon's had some, you know, this is some pretty critical outright I mean, there's a show called what was it called? God damn it, I'm forgetting the name now. It's like something random that's not about really anything.
Sure.
I forget, but it's about this dude. He's a black kid that's like very big. He's very big. As in like the multiple times bigger than a regular person, like bigger than a person can be. And then it gets into some seriously fucking awesome, you know, just like commentary on how capitalism works and why it requires unemployment to function and stuff like that. What, you know, and how it only basically gets worse as it goes along. And it's like, on the one hand, whenever something like that comes up on Amazon, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool that they let this on here. But then it's like followed by this immediate feeling of like, this means they don't think it matters. They're like, yeah, let them say whatever they want to. It's not going to affect us. You know?
Well, I think that's just like, that's the history of, you know, television in general, right? Is that like, people talk about how liberal Hollywood is. It's because more liberal people tend to tell better stories, it would seem. So the creepy weirdos who run Hollywood just hire the best writers are all liberal.
Well, even though you know who's not a liberal and who is not good at making shit up?
Who?
James Donald Bowman.
James Donald Bowman. Is he related? Is he the guy who stars in Vance Dance Revolution?
Yes, that's the guy.
Oh, okay.
So, wait. No, JD Vance. I'm sorry. That's not his name anymore. It's this now.
Are you dead naming the vice president, Dane?
Well,
that's not very ally of you.
Fuck him, you know? Like no, so we're going to do today is I'm going to get Morgan's cold reaction to, some of you have probably maybe heard or seen what Vance said at something talk he was doing the other day. A very specific thing that he said about a specific former president and the circumstances around that president. And just if you know anything about history at all, like American history, president history, it probably kind of at least rang a bell as being like, I don't feel like that's accurate. But
so all I know is if you've been with us for a while now, we have the Tipper Gore experience, where one of us experiences something we're seeing it for the first time, because that was Tipper Gore's excuse for her moral panic about music.
Yep.
So all I know about this is JD Vance said something about Richard Nixon.
He said something
please
about
don't
Nixon.
say anything in chat until my torment is over.
I'm gonna I should have already done this, but I gotta grab a clip of it real quick.
Everybody drank. Cheers.
Okay. Jasmine Crockett's kind of being disappointing.
Yeah, she really has. She's had quite the face turn or the heel turn lately.
It's like, I mean, it's not like an outright heel turn in the sense that she hasn't just like, but it kind of is functionally. It might as well be that she's just like abandoning her principles,
right?
Because we'll get into that maybe, but
yeah, because she lost a primary. It happens.
Yeah, and that sucks. Because I mean, it doesn't suck that she lost. She was not the better candidate, in my opinion.
Right. That's really what it comes down to.
And then you see people, certain people that I guess it's really fucked up that you can't be a white guy that this is going to sound like I'm chud complaining.
Uh-oh.
But, like, you can't be a white guy who openly is like, I think this guy is the better candidate, and that guy happens to be a white guy versus the black lady candidate. Who by the way, I've known of her far longer, and I was really excited about her. It wasn't like, and then Talrico came on the scene. I was like, oh shit, this guy's
he's a really good communicator. That's
really scaring the shit out of him too.
Like to her, like they weren't afraid of her; they were afraid of him.
And look, I'm from Texas, which is where this race is. It's a sad reality still that at this point, if you want to win a seat in Texas, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's definitely possible, but especially after the way they fucking gerrymandered the shit out of the map. I don't know. It seems like it might, not be something you can count on.
Right. They've certainly stacked the deck, and I think, unfortunately, having a white guy who's a good communicator and good communicating at other white people, is beneficial, because white people, I think I've struck on something lately that white people don't know how to be told that they're wrong.
That's true.
Like, just like we don't have that regular occurrence.
It is. It's almost like in practice, in juxtaposed against like a person of color, or basically people of color, that we're kind of like, it's almost like narcissism. It's like white narcissism, and that we can't even see how we be wrong.
Right. And like, I don't think I'm immune to this, even though I've observed it. Right. It's just one of those things that, like, at work, I try to admit when I don't know something. Right. That's something I've practiced at, and observing when people are told they're wrong. The people I notice who I get the biggest pushback from are other white people.
Yeah. It's yikes. All right, so I got this video here, and we will check it out now.
All right.
Tipper Gore experience is go. I don't have the intro loaded up or I play it, but
alas.
So we were talking about this a little bit backstage, but I'm actually fascinated by Nixon as a character in history. I think that his historical legacy is enjoying a bit of a renaissance, but I think deservedly so.
So I'll pause it there.
The
he has
cinnamon
not gotten to the thing yet. He's not even said.
Oh, okay. So this is gonna get worse. Got it.
Oh,
cool.
God. That's nothing. That's like, I mean, I don't even know if that's true. I would imagine maybe maybe it's not true at all. And what he seems to be doing to me, well, I'll save it.
Okay. Let's continue.
Onward.
As I joked with Robert backstage, if Watergate happened tomorrow, it would be like a 12-hour news story. Like, the idea that it would have taken down a presidency is crazy. And by the way, if you look at the story of how the deep state took down Richard Nixon, it's not all that different from what the same groups of people, the same institutions tried to do to Donald Trump in the first Trump administration.
There we go.
Let's
listen again.
I want to.
Right here.
How the deep state took down Richard Nixon, it's not all that different from what the same groups of people, the same institutions tried to do to Donald Trump in the first Trump administration. There is a parallel.
And the clapping.
So he's on his book tour, this book that he probably barely wrote anything, if at all.
He
wrote some stuff. He does seem, I'll say this about the guy, I don't think he's an idiot. I think worse than that, he's shrewd and cynical and probably evil.
I think he's a professional toady.
Yeah. I just finished the song I wrote and recorded about him, by the way. So it's partly about him, partly about Charlie Kirk. It's fun. Anyway.
Nice.
We can check that out later if you want.
But cool.
Like, it is okay. Watergate. A lot of people are not aware, and this is something I was looking into not even that long ago, and I didn't realize the scope of this shit. Like, Watergate, if you know what it is, you probably think of it as just the act of him hiring some goons, sending some goons into the Democratic National Committee headquarters and to steal some, material against his opponent, right? That's basically the gist of it. And that's true. Richard Milhouse Nixon had a fucking pattern of criminality 20 years prior to that.
Oh yeah.
Just the first time the motherfucker got caught. Like he was known to, or is known now rather. It's not even fucking. I'm not saying stuff. It's like, oh, that's a crazy leftist narrative. This shit is part of the historical record.
Right.
That he, would basically do shit like that anytime he wanted to. It wasn't like he built up to one big crime because he was desperate. It's like, no, he basically operated that way all the time.
Right. What happened is he got caught.
Yep.
Well, I think this just, the admission here from, okay, so I guess I want to start with the deep state thing, right?
Well, that's why I accidentally, I titled the stream, he accidentally told the truth, because he kind of does about Trump, which is, it's like he's inversing the reality of it, right? He's like, oh, that's crazy. That it's like, but what you're saying implicitly there is that the crimes we do are so much fucking bigger.
Right.
This wouldn't even register today. Watergate is Watergate. What?
Right. Well, I think I want to touch on the deep state thing. Because I think that this needs to be touched on is that
it's crazy. The deep state. Yeah. Sorry,
well, do you know who Richard Milhouse Nixon would have considered the deep state?
I mean, I know exactly who he's referring to. The entity that he's referring to is Nixon's Justice Department.
Well, Nixon's not just that, but like Nixon was a conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
And a virulent, well-documented anti-Semite. And
just anti-black as well. Yeah.
Oh, very much so. So, like, when it comes to Nixon's idea of the deep state was Jewish people, was Jewish Americans. So to be like the same people that took down Nixon try to take down Trump is.
I didn't know that. So is he right there? Is he intentionally signaling to anti-Semites?
I don't know. I'm not a mind reader.
Right. Well, I mean, what's your, if you had to guess? Do you think he's doing that kind of knowingly? That a few people's ears are gonna perk up probably.
I think it is entirely possible that a few people's ears will perk up at that. And he is aware that they will do that, but I don't think he believes that Nixon was taken down by Jewish people.
I don't either. No, I don't think that, like, when he, this is just kind of making an observation and not, but it could be nothing. But at the same time, I feel like he has to stop and think about what he's going to say right before he says deep state. Like he has to pause and access that vocabulary in order to say the thing that he intends to say.
And the deep state in both cases is people who do crimes from position of power being held accountable to their crimes, right?
Yeah.
That's what the deep state means now, right? Is that if you are a person of power and the law does a thing to you, that is the deep state, because your power exceeds the rule of law in the conservative worldview.
Kind of serves the same function. The culture, what in culture is referred to as cancel culture. It is just kind of demonizing and it's Darvo is what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody know what Darvo is? It's a abuse tactic, basically.
Yeah.
People do it. It can be done even if you're not like a super abused person. It's just like kind of sometimes a impulse reaction to somebody being shitty to you or whatever is like to, but you just don't want to do it on a regular basis. Darvo it's deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender.
Yep.
And that's what Trump does all the time.
All the time.
That's basically all he does. That's what he's always done.
This is why the phrase "every accusation is a confession" has become so important, because every accusation they make is them misdirecting from all the shit they get up to, and it's just like when I was a little more naive, I'm like, where are they even getting this from? Like, who has this thought? And I'm like, oh, the reason you're accusing someone else of doing it is because you're already doing it. Got it. Cool. Cool. Wow. What a piece of shit. And I knew he was a piece of shit.
Oh, he's a big old piece of shit. Yeah. So, yeah, there it is. Like, okay, so what is he doing, in my opinion? He is trying to walk a very fine line that, honestly, this kind of has me a little bit concerned that he could be more successful at it than I would have expected. Because in my view,
okay, go ahead.
in my view, as far as I can tell, he's not popular.
No, he is
MAGA,
not.
he's probably got a few hangers on, a few, idiots that think he's cool or whatever, that MAGA. But for the most part, he's
I
not.
know one. I actually know one, and I don't mind saying who it is because fuck him, he tried to kill me.
Oh.
My uncle favorably compared JD Vance to JFK.
Oof. God damn. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say the thing that I was about to say because that might get me visited by the Fed.
That would have been before JD Vance was grabbing Erica Kirk's ass.
So
I'll say it. I'll say it.
Okay.
It's fine. You don't have to say it.
By the way, Dr. Midnight, thank you for saying that. And he's right. Please.
He's correct. Please
subscribe and hit likey poo and all the you can do. So what he's doing right now is he's trying to dig himself out of being pushed out front to be the face of the Iran debacle.
Yes.
Which he very much is the face of because he allowed himself to be put there.
Well, unfortunately, the problem of a man in his position is that as the vice president, you're kind of the fall guy for stuff like this.
Yep. I mean, and Trump even just flat out said, if it goes well, I'm going to take the credit. If it doesn't, blaming Vance.
Blaming Vance. And
side note, the thing about Trump that's awesome right now, and probably for the rest of his life, I'm assuming, is that he's no longer low filter. He's no filter. And it's great because he keeps
his filter is rotted away with most of his brain.
He just keeps saying shit that like, oh man, really? You're just saying that now. Cool. That's going to make for some good sound bites come election time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, I really think that like, hey, it's something that the Kamala campaign should have done more of is just, have the quote of JD Vance comparing Trump to Hitler just like on every ad.
I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and defend the campaign overall. I think that they definitely blew it. They fucked up. Yeah. But when it comes to that, I can understand not knowing or kind of just making your best guess at what the best operation, way to operate that is. Do you want to go head to head and just be like, make the campaign about fuck Donald Trump and here's how he's shitty because people know he's shitty. People are going to vote for him already know. And in fact, they see that as a good thing. And then, and then get mired in him controlling the news cycle and turning it back around on you and saying some shit that gets, like we've seen it happen so many times now that I can understand to a degree them thinking the thing to do is just to campaign around him almost. And
yeah, but they didn't even do that.
Nope, they didn't. And then a little bit the bit of success they had at first with hey, they're fucking weird. Yeah, they are. Everybody's like, yeah, they're really weird.
They're really weird, aren't they?
And here's Miss McCain for some reason. No,
stop it. Stop. No, here's a random sheriff from the South. Like, get out of here.
Wait, you got us on board with that weird thing, and now you're putting cops and conservatives on the fucking
right. Where
I like it.
For all this is one of those things that makes me mad. For all of the like accusations that the right puts out that the Democrats are the party of people like me, and for all of the blaming that the center right of the Democratic Party has put on people like me, they couldn't even have us at the convention, right? Like, it would be one thing if they they brought a drag queen up on stage to explain exactly why Trump is a fucking sex pest. But they couldn't do that.
Get a drag queen and a trans woman, both.
Yeah.
Be like, hi, I'm a drag queen. I'm a trans woman. We're not the same thing.
We are also not the same
fact
thing.
About Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, make a comedy sketch out of it. There's some really good like trans comedians and drag queen comedians. Like, get that shit up there, and because they are weird, and we should laugh at them.
They're very fucking weird. It's actually a line in my song about him. So yes, he is very fucking orange now. That is a new thing he seems to be doing, and I think everybody can understand why. Right? He's trying to appeal even in a subconscious way to MAGA chuds. Like maybe he's thinking, oh, if they just see this orange tint that I got going on, they'll be like, oh, that reminds me of Trump. And we'll see if what he starts doing with his hair. But
oh God.
So what he's doing, like I'm saying, is he's trying to dig his way out of that and set a new narrative. That's why he says something so fucking stupid like this. It's stupid, to say it, but I mean, it is a stupid thing rather, but he says it intentionally because he knows it's going to get media attention. It's going to, switch up the news cycle. He's not going to be, batted around for Iran quite as much, for a little while anyway. And then, also because he wants to run in 2028. That's pretty fucking clear. It's obvious.
Yep.
Most obvious shit ever. In fact, it seems to be, there's some segment of the right is counting on it, I think.
I think what you have is I think that a segment of the right wing financiers don't want Marco Rubio, who is kind of the other name that gets bandied about, because Marco Rubio is a zealot when it comes to Cuba.
Yes.
And I don't think they see the profit in that, where J.D. Vance is entirely a creature of capital.
The problem with another thing with Marco Rubio, I feel like anyway, this is just my read, is that he just has a nervous energy about him.
He really does. It's the cocaine.
It's probably the cocaine. But like, I have a nervous energy about me. I would not expect anybody to vote for me for president. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got anxiety problems. Sometimes I get, pretty worked up. I don't want those decisions on my fucking conscience.
Like, I will say this, Dane. If on the ballot it's you and J.D. Vance, I think we all should vote for you.
Oh, that's.
I also think that if it's you or Gavin Newsom on the Democratic primary ballot, we should also just vote for you.
Yeah. Okay. If that's the case at all ever, then just go ahead and hit reset on this whole motherfucker.
Because have you tried unplugging and plugging back in reality?
So I was actually reading an article earlier called this is from yesterday, today. Today. So Politico, Israel's Vance problem is bigger than JD Vance.
Oh.
And it is about the fact that JD Vance seems to be, I guess it's obvious that he is, really, when you look at some of the things he said lately, he's becoming the establishment right-wing guy that's going to say, hey, Israel, don't be stupid publicly.
Yeah.
And that concerns me a little bit too, because that is him carving away, we've seen that outcropping of people on the right, the Tucker Carlson and Candace Owen fans, the anti-Semites, that they were going to need somebody to represent them at some point.
Right.
It seemed like they didn't have a home as of late, but it looks like he's, him and maybe Tucker Carlson too are going to give him a home.
That's unfortunate.
In their ass. I don't know.
JD Vance couldn't get it hard though, because it's not a sofa.
Sweet. What up, Bob? Cool. So
Marco Rubio has always been a dork.
True.
Derogatory.
And there's also photos that I don't know if they're real or not, but alleged to be him at like a gay bubble party or something back in the.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but all of these fucking Republicans have been,
if they're not gay, they've sucked a dick for sure. Like maybe 3.
And there's no shame in that if they weren't fucking homophobes about it.
Yep. No shame in that game. There's only shame if you shame others.
Right.
So yeah, this is just basically an article that talks about that Vice President set the stage last week, telling Israel it has almost no friends left in the world, and that it should think hard before turning on the one it has. That's pretty fucking. That's a stark thing to say.
He's correct.
Yes, he is. And that's what concerns me. It concerns me when these people are correct, because they're never correct for the right reasons.
No. Well, and I think it's interesting that, like, because one thing JD Vance doesn't have as the United States' chief negotiator in this is he doesn't have the power to tell the military to quit it.
Right.
And boy, Keg's breath wants to be a crusader.
Oh yeah.
He just wants to Deus vault the fuck out. Just like pop a PBR and just go charge at Iranians with a broadsword.
Yes.
That's the body horror right there.
Rejected thumbnail. Rejected because I didn't finish it in time.
Oh my God, Bob! Don't type this evil into the world.
What did he say?
Quote Bob the old ways, because I don't want to say this was me saying this. Watch
Okay.
the Dem establishment now go hard for Israel so they won't sound like Vance. Jesus Christ. No, make Vance sound like you. Jesus Christ. You have an endless cavalcade of body horror for this guy. This is like your hobby, right? Like I'm over here painting minis, and
I
you're
spent a good 45 minutes messing around with some stuff the other day whenever I was just like, and I've been kind of preoccupied with Vance lately. And at first it was because, I've been working on that song mainly. And
Yeah.
I actually did a kind of a, not a deep dive, but I did a little bit of a dive into him so I could get good references and stuff for lyrics. And
sure.
he's, I was surprised. I guess I didn't know that he was a Marine.
Yeah, he's like a lawyer or something, wasn't he? Like
he was a journalist, but yeah, then he became a fucking lawyer out of that. Yeah. It's always you're probably a really good journalist if you also just become a lawyer instead of, I don't know. Look, the guy is smart enough to know that what he's saying in that video is fucking bullshit. The deep state is not a thing that, it is a thing. I'll say that. It is a thing that I've only in the last few months realized, that's kind of what I would consider the deep state, but I think it's something that's provably exists, and that is AIPAC and the influence that AIPAC and other
it's lobbyists, right? The deep state is lobbyists, and it's rich
just
fucks,
money,
right? It's the Epstein
not,
class.
It's not because of fucking black supremacy or Jews trying to replace people or anything, all that other stuff. It's always just money, and people who are fucking very evil and will do whatever to,
It's literally like it's the Scooby-Doo thing. We're like, who's the bad guy in the mask? It's always some rich fuck who wants more land, money, or drugs.
Yeah. Yep. So I think we talked about the deal last time, right?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's dead now.
I don't think we watched this, but it should be quick here.
Them 150 billion. I would never given them the money. I would have never given. They're using it. They don't have to make nuclear. They can buy it. We have taken their money. It's not our money. It's their money, and we froze it. At a certain point in time, I guess we're going to have to give it back.
So, question: do you think that in the first video that he knew what he was saying and was just being dishonest about the whole thing and was willing to, or do you think he just didn't even understand the process at work back then?
So I'm doing some forensic journalism on these clips here, and I'm going to say he just was reading off of talking points.
Okay.
If you look behind him, it's got the
Rubio's
MS
got some
Now
glazed
logo.
over eyes. What's that? Sorry. What'd you say?
There's the MS Now logo behind him, which means
Ms. Now,
he
yeah,
said
Ms.
this.
Now. Who is she?
Ms. Now?
Yeah.
It's the ghost of MSNBC.
Oh, so it's Rachel Maddow, right?
It's Rachel. Miss Now is well, she's gotta be Mrs. Now because she's married.
Is she married now?
She's got a lovely wife.
Awesome, good for her.
But yeah, it's that's a new. It was MSNBC before 2025.
Well, but what you're looking at there is a watermark on the video itself.
Oh, is it? It's not on the thing
not,
behind him.
Yeah, that's not a thing on the. This is actually 2015, as it says right there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Look at that.
And then you can just look at the difference. Like, God, he's never looked good or healthy, but there is a difference, right? Like
there is a difference. Yeah, he has more hair. He looks less crypt keeper and more guy in rubber mask.
His eyes are open. He doesn't look half asleep. Like, God damn. We're really on I think that probably most days most people don't spend a lot of time, hopefully they don't, I try not to, thinking about what a precarious goddamn scenario we're in right now.
It's bad.
It's almost certainly short of like Cold War, oh no, are we going to nuke each other kind of moments. This is probably just one of the most precarious and dangerous, kind of like, oh shit, what's going to happen moments in U.S. history, which would make it probably in world history. Yeah.
Look, I so seeing that now, I do think that that 2015 Trump didn't know his ass from the hole in the ground.
Right.
And 2026 Trump is literally like trying to run back the deal Obama made with them.
Uh-huh.
but he can't just say that was the old deal because
Right. Yeah. So I think
he's
what
the
it
one
is,
who threw it
you're right.
out.
I think that back then he didn't understand that what was actually happening. Somebody told him, basically that he has somebody that sums up his articles that he gets or whatever and reads for him.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, they're taking this money and they're giving it to him. They're just giving him this money, and he's going, what? We're giving them money? We can't give them money. That's our money, because he's an idiot. And then so he just says that kind of shit, and then obviously it was not our money. It was money that was frozen. Their assets were frozen because we can,
Do that.
And then so this time though, he's learning about it, the details as it happens. I think, like, I don't think he's like, oh, what? Whoa, so we actually have to give them their money back, or we're going to give them their money. We can do that. Yeah, we should do that because he's been so desperate to end this war that he fucking started for no fucking reason.
Well, he started because Israel was going to start it. That's
Right.
his excuse, was Israel was going to start it. And so we started it instead because
It's so dumb.
it's so dumb.
It's, I like repeating this fact that the last 4, I think, presidents, Netanyahu came to each one of them with basically proposing this
The same thing.
war, and
Yep.
all of them said no. And then Obama said, not only are we not going to do it, you're not going to do it.
Right.
You fucking big dicked him.
Right. We will end you if you do this.
Bob's here.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can even smell you, which is weird.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Just what I was going for. Got that
Excellent.
new scratch and sniff function on my avatar.
Bob, do you think that 2015 Trump understood the workings of what he was talking about, or not? Or was he just being dishonest, or what?
I don't have the context of the last 2 minutes of your conversation or
Let me
so,
play that
but
for you.
I would have
in
never
general-
given them 150 billion. I would have never given them the money. I would have never given. They're using it. They don't have to make nuclear. They can buy it. We have taken their money. It's not our money. It's their money, and we froze it. At a certain point in time, I guess we're going to have to give it back.
The flaws in the deal also include insufficient enforcement and near total silence on Iran's missile program.
If other countries have them, it's a little bit unfair for them not to have some.
Ballistic missiles that could deliver nuclear warheads.
Sir, you shouldn't let them have any missile. I said, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to let... So
God, that's so weak. Like, I mean, if I was somebody who actually believed in the positions that, people claimed that they were going into war to begin with this would come off like the fucking cuckiest behavior.
Well, that's
holy shit.
I know some people on the right who think that this is like not it makes Trump look bad, and like they're hurting because they're all seeing gas prices and food prices go up because of this and everything else going up, and now he's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? It's like, well, you're the president of the United States of America. You in theory have all of the power in the world. I don't know, man, figure it out.
So I have a question real quick.
President.
Yes.
Can y'all hear the music in the background?
I can hear a little bit in the background, but it's not like super duper noticeable.
Okay.
I don't hear much.
All right.
I guess if you're not speaking, then maybe you could mute if you want to. That might be beneficial, but it's not super distracting. I don't even hear his music. It sounds like talking to me. But.
Yeah, it's a work. My roommate is working out in the next room, so it's a workout video.
Oh, sure. How healthy.
Good for her. Bob, did you see the thing that JD Vance said the other day?
About Israel?
No, about Nixon?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. What do you think? It's a pretty cool thing to say, or what?
Well, I think it's what you said earlier. He accidentally, like his framing of it, kind of unintentionally admits that Trump is a bigger criminal.
Yeah.
But I mean, what he's trying to do is smooth over all of the crimes that are happening and have been happening.
Yeah.
He's trying to make it seem like, what? So presidents do some stuff sometimes. Who cares, man? Like, so whatever, breaking in and bribing and threatening. Whatever.
Breaking into a hotel room. Who gives a shit, man?
Right.
That happens every day.
We do shit like that before 6
a.m. Now Republicans break into hotel rooms all the time to,
rape children and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, somebody was talking about how like 20, 30 years ago, some kind of corruption scandal of like $5 or $10 million would have been like just flabbergasting, unreal that somebody would get caught in something like that. And then now it's like he's enriched himself, I think $4 billion since he's been in office.
Yeah. Trump has gotten away with multiple things that would have ended presidents before him. Even like Biden or Obama, if they had done one of these things, their presidency
Even
would be over.
Bush.
Or if they didn't do anything at all, but they just, it kind of seemed like their son maybe might have done something, and then like that would fucking become everything that the right talked about. It was because of what happened.
Well, there's what everything talk about, and then there's what will end a presidency. Those are
right.
Higher standards or different standards. But Obama, just to take Obama, Trump's immediate predecessor before his first term, if Obama had if Obama had accepted a $2 billion, if Obama's
Hello?
Bob? Bob disappeared on us. Okay.
Bob has been consumed by demons of the warp.
Well, let's continue on with this video. It's halfway through. We'll see what else
Right.
is very embarrassing for him.
We'll wait for Bob to reload.
That could deliver nuclear warheads.
Sir, you shouldn't let them have any missile. I said,
Hello?
well, what am I going to do?
Hey, you're back.
Am I going to let Saudi Arabia have missiles, but they can't have them? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't work that way, Missiles they hurt a little location, but they don't blow up the planet.
They were doing badly, and then we
Depends on
took
the
the
missile.
sanctions off. And we should have never taken the sanctions off before we finished the deal.
We have sanctions which will never let them rebuild. They would have no money. So something will happen as soon as they behave. When they behave, we're going to let that go. We're going to have to.
We're letting them, how about this one, self-police. They are going to tell us whether or not they're building nuclear weapons.
There's nothing enforceable in the deal itself. Is that correct?
Doesn't have to be. I let them know. I said, look, if you don't adhere to the agreement, I don't want to do that, but we're going to bomb the hell out of you.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, to finish my thought, it was just one sentence. I was going to say, if Obama's wife had accepted $2 billion from the Saudi Arabian government, that would have been the end of his presidency, eventually.
If Obama's wife had a major movie studio and a documented sex pest director make a documentary about her,
I don't think that would have ended her. I don't think that would have ended his presidency.
you don't think so?
No. If his family benefited financially directly from payments from another sovereign state, the way that Jared Kushner, Trump's son, has, that is a direct violation of the Constitution, arguably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That would have been the end of Biden or Obama, or Bush or Clinton. Trump,
well, that's why
somehow
they
is immune.
they tried to frame Biden for or Joe Biden for his son's make work job in Ukraine, which is like, oh, he made money on Ukraine. It's like, no, his son had a job there, like in between drug benders. Like, what are you even talking about?
And that's just like for plausible deniability. That is corruption, to be clear.
Yeah, for sure.
But giving him a job and then paying him is like plausible deniability. Jared Kushner just took $2 billion.
Took $2 billion into his pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. With no pretext of him doing really anything that I can recall. But this talk from Trump about Iran right now, to circle back to the question I was asked when I first came on, I think Trump understood in 2015 how the Iran deal worked. And he understands now that we lost the war with Iran.
Right. We did.
And we deserved to lose the war with Iran because it was illegal and unprovoked. And he understands
badly run.
Business work and badly run. But war is always evil, in my opinion. And
I agree.
Be avoided at all costs. And so starting a war when one is not necessary or unavoidable is just straight up evil.
Right.
And you deserve to lose if you do that. So he understands that he's fucked here. He's too cowardly, I think, to commit to what it would actually take to defeat Iran, which is a massive ground invasion.
Right.
with literally millions of American troops, that's what would be necessary.
Jesus.
Because of the terrain of Iran is all mountains and shit. And we're not going to do that.
No.
We're just not. That's not how war is fought in the modern era. So we have lost. And I think he recognizes, he doesn't think of it in terms of he lost, because his ego won't let him admit defeat. But he recognizes that this is the only way out of this, is to give concessions to the power that won this war.
Right. Except now he's bombing them again, so.
Yeah. Which is not going to work.
No. Because it's at some point, Iran is just going to, can't be fucked, right? It's just like, well, every time we have a deal, you bomb us again, and you want to come back to the table. It's like, well.
Yeah, see, Iran no longer needs nukes as a deterrent. They have learned that they can control the Strait of Hormuz and pretty much wreck the economy of the West, or manipulate it to their desire, and get as many concessions as they want eventually.
I also think they know that the United States does not have an appetite for a land war in Asia.
Yeah.
No.
Which is a good thing. We shouldn't.
Correct. We should not. No,
I mean,
no
that is
Western
one
power
thing.
has the stomach for that anymore, and that's a good thing.
That is very good. That's an hey, look, humanity, you're doing a little bit of growth there. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
And I think it almost certainly has everything to do with the fact that we see the results of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I think nobody
in living memory, right? It's not like
somebody snuck out some video from Vietnam.
Right. Well, it's like, several generations passed in between even the start and the end of Vietnam, but also between the end of Vietnam and our Iraq fiasco.
Right.
And so, we got out of Afghanistan a couple years ago. We were still in Iraq. So what? Everyone is acutely aware of the problems, and so there's, it's suicide politically.
Yeah, and I mean, in some cases, just like literally, almost.
Yeah.
Man, how many people died in this war? Do we even have an official number?
No, we do not.
We don't. And the only people that are the West is going to count are Americans.
Right? Yeah.
And that's been like a handful have died, which is too many. But we have no reliable count in Western media of how many Iranians have been killed.
Well, and we also don't have
the bombing of that girls' school was just the first one. It wasn't an accident. We've done it multiple times since then.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're deliberately targeting schools and places of worship and
it's a campaign like this is what the plan. It's a war of genocide, right?
Mehdi Hassan did a debate with this guy who's like a right-wing think tank guy.
Oh boy.
And it did not go well for that guy because I don't know how he thought that taking the position publicly of actually it's not such a big deal whenever we blow up a bunch of little girls or something. I don't know why I thought that would go well against Mehdi Hassan of all people, but yeah.
Like if I agree with Mehdi Hassan on something 100%, I wouldn't want to talk about him just for the fear of looking stupid because Mehdi Hassan is just that smart.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone thinks they can win it, or not just win, but even do well in a debate against Mehdi Hassan.
I don't know.
I saw a friendly discussion between it had him, some other guy I'm not sure who it was, and then Trevor Noah. They're sitting around talking about movies, and come to find out Mehdi Hassan is a big fan of like cheesy old 80s and 90s action films.
Fuck yeah, he is.
And he was saying that I think I'm trying to remember who had which guy, but they're basically, one of them said Jason Statham could kick Jean-Claude Van Damme's ass, and the other said Jean-Claude Van Damme kicked Jason Statham's ass. And I mean, I don't even know what JCVD in his prime, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. But like, it still seemed like Mehdi was winning that, whether he was right or not. It was like
Mehdi was correct, by the way. Jason Statham in his prime could easily beat Jean-Claude Van Damme in his prime.
And then it got to the point where Trevor Noah literally just said, "First of all, you're stupid." And they just started laughing. So I was like, that's all he could do. He turned him into using shud tactics.
At least it was done in humor, right? Like it was.
Yeah, it was all in good fun.
Right.
Seemed like it'd be a fun conversation to have with some fun people. Here is a clip that I've got, kind of in response, directly in response to what Mr. Bowman said.
I'm actually fascinated by Nixon. If Watergate happened tomorrow, it would be like a 12-hour news story. The idea that it would have taken down a presidency is crazy. If you look at the story of how the deep state took down Richard Nixon, it's not all that different from what the same groups of people, the same institutions tried to do to Donald Trump in the first Trump administration.
First, what's crazy is James Donald Bowman suggesting that Donald Trump's crimes have been so much worse than Nixon's that Watergate would have been a 12-hour story. And then if you take his story and you swap out deep state for the justice system, it would make so much more sense, because it wasn't the deep state that took Nixon down. It was his clinical obsession with breaking the law. And I'm not even talking about Watergate. This is what nobody seems to understand. In 1968, before Nixon was president, when Watergate was just a twinkle in his eye, old Tricky Dick Nixon used his connections as a former senator and vice president to illegally backchannel and sabotage the Paris peace talks that could have ended the Vietnam War during Lyndon Johnson's presidency. But he didn't want Hubert Humphrey and Democrats to benefit from ending the war. So he personally coordinated interference, which culminated.
That reminds me exactly of the thing Trump did prior to the election. Oh wait, they have a border situation that would be actually like probably the most secure border shit ever passed. And that would, but we can't let them pass that because that would look good for them. And I got to win the election based on scaring people because of Mexicans.
Well, even his negotiated surrender to Al Qaeda in Afghanistan was entirely because he didn't think he was going to get reelected and wanted to sabotage the next guy.
Yeah.
You
with
don't
South
hate
Vietnam
Henry
walking away
Kissinger
from
enough,
the people.
by the way. Whoever you are, I don't hate Henry Kissinger enough because I can't.
It's impossible.
Can't.
It's almost like if you are capable, if you are on morally the correct position to know that he is someone that deserves your hatred, then you probably don't have it within you to hate as much as he deserves.
Right. You do not have the infinite amount of hatred he deserves.
I don't hate Kissinger. I'm just very disappointed in him.
Oh.
See, I can tell you what Henry Kissinger's greatest contribution to humanity was.
Dying.
And that's dying.
Yeah.
It is the only time he made an improvement to this earth is when he fucking left it.
I remember
Same with Hitler.
I remember we covered
Hitler.
that. Yep. We covered it when it happened. And I made a thumbnail where it was like he was literally drowning in piss and it was like rest in piss. That was fun.
Yep, it was a good time. I wish the president would join him.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Peace talks just before the presidential election, which Nixon then won by less than 1 percentage point due to opposition to the Vietnam War. And as a result, 20,000 more Americans lost their lives in Vietnam under Nixon before the war ended with, wait for it, a compromise that was identical to the Paris peace talks. No wonder Vance loves Nixon. He laid the roadmap for their entire Iran strategy. Now, none of this is speculation. The whole thing is laid out by Politico magazine and Smithsonian magazine. Then after Nixon was elected but a year before Watergate, Nixon was paranoid a military analyst was going to expose how much he'd been lying about Vietnam. So he found the psychiatrist the guy had been seeing, and he ordered a bunch of goons to break into the doctor's office to try and find compromising medical information that would discredit the analyst. The file cabinet they broke into is in the Smithsonian Museum today. Nixon also created an enemies list and ordered the IRS to investigate them. He illegally wiretapped
So like I'm thinking now, I'm realizing that like JD Vance and Trump or whoever, the people on the right, basically people that are still MAGA, they go to the museum and they see that filing cabinet and they're like, oh my God, there it is. Oh,
it's a holy relic.
Yeah, they're seeing it as a different thing than what most people are
seeing.
Right,
we're seeing like, wow, Nixon was a piece of shit, and they're like, praise Tricky Dick.
Can I touch it? Can I sniff it? Can I smell it? Yeah.
Everyone he didn't like, including journalists, government employees, and his opponents. We're talking about a well-worn pattern of 20 years of criminal behavior before Watergate, which took place in June of 1972, where Nixon used that same team of goons to break into the DNC headquarters to plant bugs and steal documents. Then, after those goons were caught, Nixon was recorded on tape ordering the CIA to interfere in the FBI's investigation. Then, to keep those goons from talking, Nixon illegally arranged for hundreds of thousands of dollars in hush money payments. Then, when Congress ordered him to release all of his tapes, tapes. He simply ignored them until the Supreme Court forced him to turn them over in 1974. This whole process took 2 years to play out before Nixon finally resigned in disgrace, and the people who did most of Nixon's bidding served a combined 13 years in prison for their crimes. A collection of sentences that would have paled in comparison to Nixon's had he not first been pardoned by Gerald Ford. See, when Vance said that by modern standards Watergate would be a 12-hour scandal, he thought he was saying that Watergate wasn't that big of a deal. But what he was actually saying is that the depth and severity of Donald Trump's crimes make Watergate look like child's play.
It's true.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit. JD Vance. I hope no couch will ever be comfy again. I hope they're all lumpy and springy.
Just may all the worst things happen to him, you know?
Yep.
May he be friend zoned by every couch he ever meets until the day he dies.
Oh boy. I was Marine.
He was like a file clerk and a journalist in the Marines.
Yeah.
He was. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen these clips from Barbara Wawa back when she interviewed Trump in like a late 80s, early 90s. You ever seen any of that?
I may have seen these before.
Some pretty crazy, like not crazy. It's not crazy at all. It's actually like, oh, so he's literally just always been this same thing exactly.
Oh,
he just was, you know. And man, wow. Just check her out. And also notice that this is a mainstream news journalist doing journalism and like holding somebody. It's pretty crazy.
Title, Surviving at the Top. There are many people who would say failing at the top.
I hope the general public understands how inherently dishonest the press in this country is.
As a member of the press, let me try to clear up some of the things which you say are untrue. You write in your book, my bankers and I worked out a terrific deal that allows me to come out stronger than ever. I see the deal as a great victory, and eventually the rest of the world will too. Being on the verge of bankruptcy, being bailed out by the banks,
Well, you don't have to say on the
skating on thin ice and almost drowning, that's a businessman to be admired?
You say on the verge of bankruptcy, Barbara, and you talk on the verge, and you listen to what people are saying.
I talk to your bankers.
Well, that's fine. Well, what do they say? I mean, you know, depending on which banker you're talking to, what do they say? I'm the only one.
7.
Depending on which bankers you're talking to. Several, she says. Goddamn. Barbara.
All of them. Yeah.
Spirit of Barbara Walters, come back.
Yeah, please. Can we just make a bunch of Barbara Walters clones and Cronkite clones?
And like, but he, you know, you just see that. I guess it's the Roy Cohn strategy that he's just always used of like respond, but don't actually literally respond to the specific things that the person's saying. Just attack for one thing, you know, but just attack the person, attack their field of journalism, and then also just like say vaguely related things that don't really give any information.
Right.
It's wild.
People write about it. I mean, they don't write about other people.
You have a little more debt than most people. You're something like $3 billion in debt.
You also have a little more assets than most people.
Okay. You have debts to pay back.
Right.
You have huge loans to pay back. You say the country is in a depression. What makes you think that you can pay back those loans? And further, what your bankers have told us is that the only way you even have a chance is by selling that property out there totally, the plaza.
Well, I don't know what the bankers have said. The plaza is a very valuable property. Everybody told me, oh, you paid too much, you paid too much. Now they're all saying what a great deal he made on the plaza.
No, you yourself said that you saw your children maybe
treasure.
Once a week. You're having a lot of difficulties with your 12-year-old son, Donnie. You haven't talked to him since...
Wow. That is kind of wild to think about the history of that.
Barbara,
if only we had journalists who talk back to the president this way now.
Right.
Just for the clicks.
Oh, yeah.
It would not make any difference at all politically. It would make zero difference, but it would be great.
Knowing what we him now, like what he's feeling right now makes me uncomfortable to think about, because it's probably a violent thought that he's having, and he's like containing himself as best he possibly can, because he wants to just fucking shut her up. You know what I mean? Like,
but by this point, I believe, I mean, according to some of the things in the Epstein files, he is alleged to have had the lives of people ended by this point.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Barbara Walters. You can't really
just kill Barbara Walters, yeah. Unless
you can. She's not with us anymore, so. No.
May, do you believe in fidelity in marriage?
Yes, absolutely, I do.
In the current issue of Vanity Fair, the author Marie Brenner says that you read from Hitler's collected speeches, My New Order, and that these are speeches that you seem to admire. What's your reaction? Do you have this book?
Check out this response. This is crazy. Like,
this is nuts. Not surprising.
A friend of mine sent me a book. A man who I think is Jewish, although I don't know.
It's got to be Epstein, right?
I mean, he doesn't. I'm just saying, like, the response to that is he kind of goes on for a minute and rambles, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not even a coherent thing. Like, is he saying that the person did send him a book, that he does have that book, but then he actually goes further and he starts like, like basically attacks her for even saying it, and it's
right.
Like, what is it? Are you mad that she, said that you have the book, and that's crazy, or did you actually? Because he said a friend sent him a book. Was it that book? I don't know. So it seems like he was just floundering a little bit.
Just a bit.
Got one more here. It might be some of the same stuff. I'm not sure.
All right.
I hope the general public understands how inherently dishonest the press in this country is.
As a member of the press, let me try to clear up some of the things which you say are untrue. My bankers and I worked out a terrific deal that allows me to come out stronger than ever. What, skating on thin ice?
Yeah. And you listen to what you pay too much. Now they're all saying, what a great...
Okay, yep. Same stuff. Sorry about that. Okay.
All good.
Yeah. What a guy.
What?
Here's the thing. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. As recently as Obama's presidency, we had journalists who would talk that way to the sitting president.
Yep.
And now none of them will do it. I won't say none. There are some who would if they could get interviews.
Right. But they
filtered a lot of people out because they basically did the whole what was it? They had them sign, or at least for the Pentagon.
DOD, yeah.
That thing.
Well, none of them signed it. That was the thing, is they all.
Not even fucking Newsmax signed it.
Yeah, even Newsmax was like, nah, man.
We at Newsmax have fucking integrity. Come on.
we have a standard.
This is our one single standard, and we're not gonna cross it. Yeah, that's wild. The thing is like, obviously Trump himself, I don't give a fuck about, like, anytime I talk about him anymore, it's like, not like I'm trying to do, what I feel like a lot of people do on YouTube and whatnot, where it's just like Trump gets clicks, so let's talk about the newest thing Trump did. Obviously, It's important in many cases because it literally has a almost direct effect on our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But usually when it's something like that, and it's like, let's go back and look at how he's always been this piece of shit. For me, it's like trying to understand a little bit more what's happened to the culture, more just the single man, because like this is the kind of thing that has appealed to, I guess a third of the voting populace or whatever.
38%.
And it's just kind of wild to try and understand why people are this way. I don't know.
Well, I think that 30% have always been that way.
Yeah.
And always will be that way. And what he did was figure out how to weaponize that effectively. Yeah. And now that's just what the Republicans are going to do forever basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like that one guy said that the video clip I found at one time that was like he said that Nixon was the guy for assholes, that basically assholes voted for Nixon, and you kind of think it's a little bit of the same thing where like Nixon was pissing off the the establishment, not nearly the same way, but he was like, he was kind of crass, he was kind of kind of a dickhead, he just had this air of being a shithead about him,
right?
And certain people just gravitate to that because they're shitheads, and they're like, oh, you can be a shithead and be president? I'm a fucking shithead.
Right. Unfortunately, the shithead demographic in America is large. All right. Unfortunately, gentlemen, I have a unexpected thing I have to take care of, so I'm going to have to head out for now.
Hopefully.
Oh, no.
Okay. Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow, possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Take it easy, folks. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Here's another clip that's unrelated, but I mean, look, you're gonna like it.
first.
Meet your maiden.
I want a woman of loose virtue, but her scruples must be ironclad. If your scruples are loose, do not send a raven in response to this scroll. I will not fetch it from the rookery.
The ideal first date. Oh, well, we get married so that we can legally have sex. But if you want to wait, that's totally fine. I'm cool with anal.
I graduated from the College of Arcania, where I majored in force fields and minored in women's studies. We studied many women and discovered that their brains are actually tadpoles from the devil.
What I look for most in a maiden is maturity, you know?
Hold on.
Most in a maiden.
Bald.
All right, so is this
is Wizards with Guns? Yes.
Wizards with Guns? Okay. I'm gonna have to show this to a friend of mine who did a similar. She did a similar gag a few years ago on her Instagram.
Seb Low. I've never heard of Seb Low. Yeah, it reminds me of Lowered Expectations from Mad TV back in the day. Did you ever see that?
No, I never watched that show actually.
I did because I was young and I already liked SNL and I wanted to believe that Mad TV could be as funny as SNL was back then. But like this was fucking Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley era. You know,
yeah,
Phil Hartman. That like, how could it possibly get any funnier? But anyway, Seb Low. Who is Seb Low? Do you know who Seb Low is?
I have no idea.
Me neither. Anyway, check out Wizard with Guns. Whenever I'm kind of bored and not feeling great lately, and I just like I need to like chuckle at something, I go put on a Wizards with Guns video. It was all right. Man, TV wasn't SNTV, but it had Will Sasso and Deborah Wilson. Yeah. And Ari Spears, true. Oh, cool. In Living Color, yeah, it had some funny stuff. In Living Color did. It had Fire Marshal Bill was one of my favorites. Let me tell you something,
yeah, that was my SNL alternative, was In Living Color. I never got into Mad TV.
Yeah. It wasn't as good generally. They had a few good characters that would come on, they would milk the shit out of those, like the what was his name? The dude played like a little baby, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. I hope things are cool with Morgan.
Me too.
I guess I probably should go and make some dinner here in a few minutes for the family.
All right.
What kind of music is it, Lucifer? I've got some new music, by the way. Let's see how the views drop here when I said that. No, I got two new songs, and the thing is, they're different than the other songs that I had been doing that I made that album of, because this is all music I actually made instead of me singing on other music that other guy made. So it's a full-on expression of me, and one of the songs is literally about partially JD Vance and partially Charlie Kirk, just because I don't know, I got kind of fascinated with the idea of somebody, dedicating their life to being, obviously we think it's just like basically evil and at least very least dishonest, because I believe both of those guys, Charlie Kirk and JD Vance, even if they are ideologically, they do believe in what some of the stuff that they, purportedly to believe, I think they also knowingly lie. Well, Charlie Kirk, he only lies there now, but but I think they both would be deceptive intentionally and for fun and profit, I guess. And that's the kind of thing that I'm like, man, I can't even, like, if I pull a prank on my girlfriend or my son and I like say something goofy that's like that I know it's goofy, but like then I see that they actually believe me for a second. It's the moment that I see that they believe me, I have to be like, no, I'm just kidding. I wish I could, but I cannot, like, keep the gag up for very long. because I feel so fucking bad, like I'm deceiving them, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's so just a little jokey poo or whatever, and I literally have to just blow it up because I'm like, oh no, I'm serious, it's not real. Yeah, pretty well. How things going over there with you, Bob?
Pretty good. I just got back from seeing Supergirl.
Ooh,
which I enjoyed.
Girl,
I enjoyed it. I don't know what everybody's bitching about. Well, I do know what everybody's bitching about, but
some people are bitching about for sure.
I have the same attitude as Edgier Than Thou, who dropped their video on it, I think yesterday, where normally I can understand the criticisms of a movie, even if I don't agree with them. But after having seen Supergirl, I don't understand the good faith criticisms that are being made of it. I just don't see them. It's not as good as Superman, but it's a good movie. And I only have one real complaint about it, but
I actually have a video that we could look at that kind of directly addresses this, not with Supergirl, but with just Discovery Day or Disclosure Day or whatever it is. And I'd be kind of curious to know if you think that maybe this is part of that, but go ahead, continue.
Like I was just going to say that like even Eric Debunks didn't like this movie, and after having seen it, I am just like lost as to like, because I saw his video on it without having seen the movie, and I thought his criticism sounded pretty solid, because he's normally pretty solid, and then I saw the movie and I was like, what is he talking about? I don't get it. So I don't want to like bring on anybody's parade, but I enjoyed the movie a hell of a lot. The audience I was with was clapping and laughing and cheering through the whole thing. So go see it and have fun with it. It's a cool movie, I think.
Wow.
I think a lot of people expected it to be a faithful adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And
I guess I knew that it wasn't going to be that, so I don't know.
Yeah. And I think any smart and you don't even have to be smart, like any media literate person knows that that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
And I went into it knowing that. I mean, I learned with Jurassic Park to let go of expectations that anything is going to be a faithful adaptation. Jurassic Park, the movie, is great, but it is almost nothing like the book it's based on.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I from what I gathered, it was basically like going to be the central main crux of it, that it's her on on this planet and the girl, and then like that's basically it, that they're going to do different things outside of that kind of core.
Yeah, thing. It's the same basic story. I mean, the comic book story was true grit in outer space, and this is true grit in outer space, but the story was told from the girl's point of view, Ruthie, the comic book. The movie is told from Kara's point of view. So they have to change things around. They have to fit it into the DCU, which doesn't have the same history as Woman of Tomorrow. Like, all the changes they made are justified and make sense for the story. And the only complaint I have is the use of Lobo, which is odd because I was excited about that. But the way the movie uses him is kind of clumsy. Jason Momoa is great as Lobo. But basically I guess it wouldn't be a spoiler to say that if you took Lobo out of this movie, nothing changes about the story.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. I mean, so he doesn't even like play a substantive role in like a fight at some point that,
He does, but he has no effect on the plot. They just give him cool things to do that are like an add-on, like an Easter egg to the story. Like, it feels a lot, honestly, like a studio note. Like a producer came in and said, "Hey, I want to see Lobo in this movie. Can you put
we need
Lobo
to have
in this
something
movie?"
like some really cool popular character that people are excited to see, because Supergirl, we don't have confidence in it or something like that."
Yeah, it feels that way, and it's just, I don't know. I was not expecting to have that be my main complaint against the movie. It's not a perfect film. It's not as good as Superman, like I said, but it is by no means a bad movie. And I'm seeing so many reviews from people who aren't chuds, just like calling it a straight up bad movie. And I'm thinking,
wow.
either my standards have lowered incredibly since, I don't know, 2016 or something, or they're just not seeing. I'm completely baffled. I don't understand the criticisms I've seen of this movie from good faith people. I just don't get it.
Huh. Well, okay, so here's a video. We're not gonna watch the whole thing because it's like 20 minutes long, but just the premise. He kind of talks about in the first few minutes. So this is Treehouse Detective, which is actually a great channel. Nobody's ever heard of it. You should check him out. He does great deep dives into like pop culture stuff and just, you know, random things that are almost every single time that he has a video where it's like, you won't believe this, and it is kind of like a crazy thing. Like the one that really sold me on this channel, by the way, was like a year ago now, a video about how Andrew WK, do you know the guy Andrew WK?
Yeah.
Like his history of being like, is he a real guy kind of thing, that there's like actually a lot of crazy mystery and circumstance around who he is he really the guy making the music and stuff like that? There's some other guy that maybe potentially is behind him that maybe is the real guy, and it's like, it's pretty fucking fascinating. It was like an hour-long video deep diving into the shit, and I never even really cared for Andrew WK, but it was just like, that's fascinating. I like these kind of nerd deep dives. But here he is, just kind of off the cuff, talking about Disclosure Day and what he noticed with the discourse after the movie came out.
Steven Spielberg's first film since 2022 and arguably first blockbuster summer movie since 2018 came out on June 12th, 2026. And the reaction to it revealed something I haven't been able to stop thinking about. But first, I have a disclosure of my own. I did not like Disclosure Day. I thought it was easily one of Spielberg's weakest films. This was my honest reaction to the movie, and yet I didn't post a review for it. And this was because I felt a strange pressure to not speak out against the film or in any way cast dispersions on it. It felt taboo or wrong somehow. And when I started to pay attention to the conversation around the movie, I realized why. Since the film's release, there have been two distinct reactions. The first is from people who just openly did not like it for whatever reason. And the second is from people who seem to be heavily invested in defending the movie against quote-unquote haters, which isn't too crazy on the surface. I mean, most movies have people that liked it and people that didn't like it. That's pretty obvious, but the dynamic here is different. Something is off. There's more going on than simply a difference in opinion, because I don't really think this is about Disclosure Day. I think something else is happening. I saw the movie a couple weeks before it came out in theaters with my friend Mike at a pre-release screening at Universal Studios Hollywood. It was one of those fancy shindigs with an open bar, free soda and popcorn, and an after-movie dinner. They even let us go on a VIP tram tour of the Universal Studios backlot after the movie. We got to go to a bunch of different cool movie sets, like we got to go to the War of the Worlds set and the Back to the Future set. And my personal favorite, we got to go to the set of Cabot Cove, Maine from Murder, She Wrote, which is my favorite TV show. So that was a dream come true. I'll drink your complimentary alien-themed gin and tonic. I'll eat your free popcorn. I'll guzzle your bottomless Diet Coke. But nothing can stop me from thinking that Disclosure Day was just kind of fine. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot to like about Disclosure Day. I would say that I had a good time watching it, but I also think that there are a lot of problems with the movie, namely that the dialogue is extremely cumbersome and none of the characters speak like real human beings. There's also a sort of first draft quality to a lot of the action staging and plot logistics. The villain characters just make these cartoonishly stupid blunders. The way that the movie deals with the concept of information also feels extremely outdated and overly optimistic for the society that we currently live in.
That right there is something that I think is probably going to continue to be a problem in general, right? Like how you can't just show the typical, like, oh, here's the what you could show like a cable news show in a movie talking about whatever topic or whatever that's in the movie, and you'd have the pro and the anti or whatever, and it'd be like kind of, but I mean, I think things are a lot more fractured and fucking bizarre now, and it's like, I can imagine it'd be harder to write a scene that takes place in the current day that kind of depicts just like a media discourse about a topic, right?
Yeah.
It'd be really weird.
It would be hard to make a scene in which the mainstream media is considered a credible source of information.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, basically, you'd have to have at least one character that's like, turn that liberal shit off. Put on Newsmax or whatever.
Yeah, that was like one of my complaints about them. I like the movie Disclosure Day, by the way, but one of my not complaints really, but my observations about the movie was that you could tell Spielberg is from a different generation, in that all of the media personality characters in this movie are like mainstream journalists on like network or cable news, instead of being streamers or influencers like Hassan Piker, or which is where most younger generations are getting their news from.
And increasingly, I think, a little bit older too.
Yeah. So it kind of his generation is showing in this movie.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. I mean, I guess it was bound to happen, right? Like he was not going to be with it, and the new hot young guy, director forever.
Yeah.
Unless
I
he's
think
stuff like Lincoln or whatever.
Yeah, and I think one reason the movie isn't resonating with people is that it's like a subtle thing where people who've grown up not trusting the mainstream media, like the establishment media, go into a movie like this one, and they see television journalists being treated as credible sources of information.
Oh yeah, like I just read through all of Transmetropolitan not long ago, right? And that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. And in the first arc, maybe the first couple issues, basically the plot revolves around, the story in general revolves around Spider Jerusalem, who is a journalist. And he basically saves the day by writing an article and like changing a bunch of minds and shit. You know what I mean? It's like everything else about it there's a lot of stuff that feels very forward looking, and like, wow, how did he Warren Ellis, just praising him on his writing here. Like, how did he sensed this was going this direction? That's pretty crazy. But then when it comes to that right there, it's like, oof, no, that's not how it ended up working out, bud.
Well, it's like media has evolved. That kind of story could still hit, but the journalist character would have to be a podcaster or a streamer or something like that, because the old guard establishment media has lost credibility in pop culture.
Well, I mean, what it does is it actually changes enough people with different perspectives, minds, and to like save lives and stuff like that, basically. And it's like, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was showing a podcaster, it would just be part of the people that that need to have their minds changed to make a real change happen.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that story has always been a fantasy. No news story has ever done that in the real world. But the credibility of that fantasy rests on people's lived experience with the media, and we don't have the lived experience of the mainstream media, of the old media. We'll just call it old media, being trustworthy anymore. That went out the window decades ago, and it's gotten worse. It's worse and worse since then. So a movie like Disclosure Day is like UFO conspiracy theorists would argue that the reason the media has been made so unserious is because when the news finally drops, when real disclosure comes, no one will believe it anyway. And that's the point. And that perspective is missing from Spielberg's UFO conspiracy movie, where the journalists are...
I'm assuming that the stuff is disclosed on the news and everybody's just like, oh my God, and they just accept it. Like,
that's part of what happens in the movie. Yeah. So like Emily Blunt's character is a journalist, a television journalist. And it's like people kind of just trust her. And I'm sure there still are people who trust journalists, individual journalists or whatever, but the media, the old media institution, is not trusted anymore. And this movie kind of assumes that it is.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, he basically goes on to talk about, how, I'm sure that is part of it. I would imagine that's a big part of it. He also just kind of ends up, going the long way around to get to saying that it's just, we are in entrenched culture warfare at this point, where like people will defend a movie not just because they like the movie now, but because they feel that their movies are getting attacked a lot and stuff like that, and or people will attack movies a lot because they believe brain rotten fucking YouTube content or whatever, and that does suck. That does suck.
But I don't think that's what's happening with Supergirl.
No,
because the criticisms I've seen that I don't understand are coming from people like, like Eric DeBunks or other like folks who would not defend a movie just because like the other side hates it.
Yeah.
They're speaking in good faith and trying to say, I didn't like this movie for X, Y, and Z. And like normally, like I said, normally I can understand a criticism even if I don't agree with it. But in this case, I haven't seen many criticisms of Supergirl that after seeing the movie, that I understand. I'm like, did we watch a different movie? Am I just dumb? Did my standards lower without me knowing it? What happened? I'm still I haven't figured out yet. This is like my raw reaction. I just got out of the movie like an hour ago, so I'm still processing it. But I enjoyed the hell out of Supergirl, and so many people whose opinions I trust have called it a straight up bad movie. Eric DeBunks did not do that, but like even Birdman, he said it's a good movie, but he gave it like a C+ or a B-, and I would have rated it higher than that.
I mean, honestly, like based on what I was getting from the trailer and stuff, I kind of had rested. I'd come to rest on not expecting it to be amazing, but probably pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's a mid-level superhero movie.
And I guess where if it depends on, I guess the thing that might be different. I'm not trying to say they're right or I agree with you or them or whatever. I'm just kind of taking a swing at it. But if you are someone who has come to believe that because it's entirely possible to make a terrific, amazing superhero movie, that maybe those should be the basically, I guess there's been a lot of great ones. So like that's the peak. And if it doesn't even come close to it, basically, or kind of fall short in some important ways, I can understand kind of holding its feet to the fire for that, right? Like I don't know, I'd have to see it, but I'm not gonna.
I mean, the movie is not without flaws, obviously.
Right.
No film is, but this, like, based on the reviews I've seen from people who didn't like it and are not like right-wing culture war chuds, I went into this movie expecting it to be worse, far worse than it was. And my experience of it and the audience I was with seemed to enjoy the hell out of it. So I don't know what am I not seeing that those critics saw. That's what I don't get.
Who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, see it for yourself, make up your own mind.
Yeah. I will see it eventually. I'm actually just really excited because I just discovered, and it's probably a terrible movie, but I just discovered that there is now a movie called Faces of Death that is it's a narrative film about the Faces of Death videos that I'm sure you saw some stuff back in the day, right?
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. So like I was one of these kids that for a while I believed they were just real. And I just only recently learned how they made them, and it's actually really fucking cool. They went through a lot of effort to make people think you're watching real shit. It's actually, I mean, it's kind of fucked up in a way but that was the whole point. They wanted to make a thing that felt like it shouldn't be, you shouldn't have your hands on it. You shouldn't be able to watch this. Like, oh my God, like basically a snuff film type myth that like, oh my God, we actually are seeing these deaths happen. I remember watching one with a friend, or the only one I ever watched. And there was like a couple of scenes where I literally felt like I was going to throw up, like, not like because I was like disgusted, but just like, it was just like nauseating to see, stuff that happened in there. And, man, so that had an effect on me, and for a long time I just thought it was real. It was not. They were not real. They would take like real things, like a real car crash that was on camera, right? That looked really gnarly, and then they would film the wreckage of that car crash, which I put quotes around the wreckage. They was basically they would just create the wreckage and then create, oh look, there's bodies in there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or executions, like the one that I distinctly still sticks out of my head is this guy that gets executed by a firing squad, and what stood out to me was like, oh my God, it was fucking crazy. Was a bullet goes into his face, and it like doesn't bleed immediately at all, and I was like kind of just fucking taken aback by that, like, oh my God, because I mean I've watched RoboCop and every other movie with blood squibs and stuff like that. But I thought I was watching for the first time a real person being shot. Anyway, there is a movie called Faces of Death now that's actually a narrative movie that's about a lady that works online, and she's basically, her job is I guess like screening videos to determine if they're real or not. So it's like a meta thing about the movie, about the old faces
Okay.
and death things.
Is it a horror movie?
Yes, it's a horror movie. Yes.
Okay.
And I hear it's pretty wacky and gruesome, which I'm all for that. So it's probably terrible, but I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to whenever the price comes down because I'm gonna get it.
I mean, horror movies are often terrible.
yeah, but you gotta wade through the crap.
That's part of the appeal. Yeah, I mean, most movies are like, it's the old Sturgeon's law thing that 90% of science fiction is crap, but that's just because 90% of everything is crap. It's the same with horror or any other genre, especially when we have such a glut of content now, where basically anybody can make a movie. I experienced this issue with the Marvels and Brave New World, not good movies. I felt bad criticizing for a long time. Yeah.
Like
I thought the Marvels was a good movie.
This is the same thing. I've talked about. I mean, it was fine. Basically, the Marvels was basically what I would expect Supergirl to be. To be honest,
Yeah.
It's, for instance, Quantumania was not a bad movie, but it's pretty forgettable, which is
Yeah.
wild because there's a lot of crazy stuff that if you would have told me 10 years ago that with the plot of Quantumania and everything that happens, and I would have been like, holy shit, that's going to be the greatest movie ever.
Yeah. That's what I would say about Supergirl. It is a good movie, but it's forgettable. It's a placeholder.
Is it one of those ones that feels like if it had come out in like the mid to late 2000s, it would be fucking banging? Like,
It's not quite that level, I think. Maybe, but it is not. It's not a film that's going to shift the cultural discourse or anything like an Avengers film does, right? It's kind of like the Incredible Hulk or the Iron Man 2 of the MCU, right? Or the DCU, excuse me. It's in some ways it's a placeholder just so they have something to put out, but considering that that's what it is, it's far better than it should be. And Millie Alcock as Supergirl is great. All the actors are great.
That's kind of the thing is I think, and for one thing, I think people are wanting to, if I was going to try and be in defense of Eric, even though I don't really know what he said about it at all, but I'm trying to kind of imagine what would maybe motivate him to be more critical, is that we're to a point where it almost feels like, I mean, it's not even controversial to say that it kind of seems like the superhero genre is going the way of the Western in slow motion, kind of. And so, like,
yeah, for sure.
I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to get back to, get to a point where it's like they're wiping Marvel and DC off of the labels of things like they did with the first Blade movie. I doubt it'll ever get that bad, but like the first Blade movie did not have Marvel anywhere in the marketing. But like, so yeah, I guess I just would want them to not make placeholders anymore, really. Like, fuck placeholders. Make, the best fucking possible goddamn thing you can. And I know it's a movie and that there's all kinds of working parts and you can't just bing, boom, bang, and make a movie that's perfect every time that, sometimes it just doesn't gel.
Yeah. Well, apparently there were about 20 minutes of footage taken out of Supergirl, which feels like too much. You don't have to keep all of it, but the movie we got, I feel like
90 minutes, man.
What?
Is it like 90 minutes? The movie?
It's 140 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Or no, excuse me. It's an hour and 20 minutes. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, I heard it was like much closer to 90.
So I think part of the reaction.
Sorry. My bad.
Part of the reactions I'm seeing are that I think people are sensing there's that gap of connective tissue taken out of the film.
Yeah.
And not quite grasping it. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to say that Eric's review was wrong. Yeah, obviously not. It was his honest reaction to the film. But like the criticisms he made after seeing it, I'm like, I don't see what he saw. And I'm trying to figure out why.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm really curious to see what happens with like Doomsday when that comes out. I'm kind of I'm speculating now that I don't think it's gonna be unanimous. No,
not at all.
It's like you basically are the, especially when they first came out, you could not find, like, I know people like to talk shit on them now in hindsight. There's people that are like, oh, they're not good. When those movies came out, you basically didn't see any like overly like really hard. These people that like this doesn't work for me or whatever, but like not like this is a shit movie that you didn't see it, you know, unless it was Chud, but we don't take them seriously.
Yeah.
I think that this time, whenever this comes out, Doomsday, there's going to be some of that right out of the gate.
Oh, for sure. Especially because, you know, they're hiding their power level with the movie. There's a lot they haven't told us about it. And I think there are probably some characters in the film who have much bigger roles than we think they do.
Yes.
Who have been held back, you know, like maybe some female
pretty
characters.
Yes. And there's going to be some surprises about what characters are not necessarily playing for the good guy team. I think.
Yeah.
And I can give you a couple of pitches of what I think some of those are. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. They will be part of Doom's cult. That's my fucking thing, right? I'm saying that right now. Just put a pin in it. We'll come back to it. I think they're going to be part of this cult that is confirmed that Doom's going to have this like cult of people that they also wear kind of Doom armor or whatever. Yeah, I think it's going to be basically people. If you think about where they've been in their respective franchises most recently, they're in kind of an unstable, dark kind of place. And then so they'll basically the exact character at a certain point that would be vulnerable to, let's say, a guy who maybe reminds them of Tony Stark, and seems to have the best interests for everybody in mind, and is, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's the big balancing act Doomsday is going to have to do, where the audience is going to know from the beginning that Doctor Doom is a bad guy, but the characters in the movie won't necessarily know that.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to sell us on people like, assuming you're correct, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man falling for him. You know,
I think it's going to be so I mean I think it would be more akin to basically how they did with Thanos in Infinity War, where it's like, oh shit, he's actually got kind of a good point here about why he's doing what he's doing. You know, when you think about the act of doing what he's doing, and given he's got a magic wish glove and he's choosing to kill half people, that's kind of fucking dumb choice. But still, you know, the reason for it makes sense, and I think that worked pretty well. Marcus and McFeely generally do a pretty good job on the scripts with that stuff. Actually, I can't think of a Marvel movie that they've done that they didn't do a pretty good job on.
Yeah.
I'd say probably the weakest one is Civil War, but it still isn't weak in general. It's a little bit harder to justify some of the things in that one, in my mind, than the other ones. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hold on. Lucifer writing. What are you referring to here?
Brave New World? Or no? Talking about Doomsday, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Rewrites and recasts are normal for movies. People really need. I know that you're not saying this, but it's always like a big deal. Somebody makes a big deal out of it when films do reshoots or rewrites or recasting of stuff, and that is completely normal for almost every film.
You're not super familiar with Lucifer, but I can tell you they know.
Yeah.
Like, I think what they're saying is about the if it's being talked about a lot, then that's, you know, sometimes an indicator that you know, I don't know, there might be something to look out for. But like, you know, the example I always go back to is Rogue One. Rogue One, basically the discourse was dominated by all the reshoots and how they're basically just redoing the whole movie, and they kind of did. Like, a lot of that movie was not anything like what it was set out to be, and it mostly works pretty damn well.
Yeah, and that's my point. Like, it has always been the case since the beginning of filmmaking that the process is you do the rough cut of the film, you show it to test screen audiences who give you notes, then along with producers and stuff, then you go back and you rewrite things, you reshoot things, you do new edits, and then show them to more test screeners and so on. This is the normal filmmaking process. And the culture war stuff we got going on has catastrophized this. And so every time there's a report of some movie that they consider to be woke getting reshoots, they make a big deal out of it when it's actually just the normal thing.
But like, really, it's kind of crazy if you go look at their channels. They are not like honestly, I was starting to get kind of worried last time I watched some videos from Eric Debunks. I'm like, man, what's he gonna do for too long? Like, you know, I mean, obviously he's can make content on basically anything he's passionate about, and he'll do a good job. He had a long YouTube career before he started talking about chuds, but still, they're just not doing well at all.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna make some cheddar off of Supergirl. That's for sure. I'm already seeing them calling it garbage.
Their view counts and stuff now compared to what it was like 3-4 years ago.
Yep.
They're making rent now. They were making cheddar. Now they're making rent.
Yeah,
and
true.
A little bit more than that too. They probably have some good mortgages to pay or something, high mortgages. I actually know what Nerdrotic's house costs because I've got that information. But yeah, it's they're feeling it. They're feeling it, and that's good.
Good.
So, on that note, what I have anything else? Nope, don't think so. I guess we gonna get out of here. I gotta go make some food.
Alrighty.
Oh shit. No, not right now, jackass. I want to do an update while I'm streaming. Fucking idiot. Computer. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna play some new songs on the way out, so you can hang around, stick around, listen to these 2 new songs if you want to, or not. It's up to you. But also subscribe to Bob of the Old Ways, subscribe to Armchair Black Belt, subscribe to Modern Audience, and then all of the things that, you know, do all that stuff, please. I will say that there's probably going to be a fundraiser stream coming up soon. I am in kind of dire need of doing the thing that I really have always hated doing as somebody with a small audience, but awesome audience, is asking for money. I hate doing it. I've hated, you know, generally, I don't like doing it, but it has come to the point where it's kind of necessary that it sucks so much because I know that everybody's kind of feeling the pinch right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
one way folks can help is to go join the Modern Audience Patreon right now and give whatever you can, even if it's like $1 a month.
Yep. But probably maybe, I don't know about tomorrow, but maybe pretty soon, the next couple streams, I will have information on how to directly support. Basically what is needed is I have to move. Me and my family have to move, and we have to move sooner than we expected, and it's going to be a tough one because we have not prepared for the type of financial expenditure that really comes with having to move. And here we are. So, yep. And also there is a health component. I'll get into that down the line, but anyways, you know, I hate it. I hate asking for money. YouTube fucked me. They don't let me make money anymore. And also, I don't make content that makes money. Anyways, I am kind of crashing out here because I am tired and hungry as shit.
Well, then go eat and get some sleep.
Will do. Thanks, Bob, for being on. And
thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
this motherfucker. So fucking villainous, so fucking insincere, so fucking poisonous. You're just so fucking weird. You serve your master well. You're a hollow husk, just an empty shell. And you're just sold into a glory hole for the Antichrist himself. Serve your master well. There's no benefit to pretense. Now that we see how your story ends, such a shame we all had to witness the perforation of your flesh as your consequence. So fucking villainous, so fucking insincere, so fucking poisonous, so fucking dead and gone from here. But you served your masters well, spewing hate until the moment you fell. Government man pulled the trigger. The truth is, you killed yourself. Serve your master well. You serve your masters well. You serve your masters well. You serve your masters well. No benefit to pretense. If the cathedral falls, I hope to see you nailed to the how adorable you think that nobody can tell. You're spreading cheeks for the devil himself. You serve your master well. You serve your master well. Tell your master I'll see him in hell. Then kill the bastard. Then just kill yourself. Back in the day I'd isolate, hide from the falling skies and wait, slip into an altered state. say that I wish I could. I'm ashamed to say that I wish I could close my eyes and mind and heart for good. I'm ashamed to say that I wish I could close my eyes and mind and heart for good. What if the rebels and renegades were here the whole time? What if the heroes we've waited for were you and I? Oh, it's just another day ending in why? Just another doomsday gone by. We're still alive. We're still alive. And that concludes our existence.
Let's shoot protesters in the leg. I want to invoke the Insurrection Act. Let's do that. Let's do another 7 wars. I love wars. Let's bomb more people. Let's steal all the oil and the gold from Venezuela. I love that. Let's carpet bomb a girls' school in Iran. Let's do 17 different massively corrupt schemes where I rob the American people. Let's do all that.